Say it with your chest on the BMM podcast where men can heal. Here we have DeVoe Sherman, the Black Godfather, Josea Stanford, the Golden Child, Etter, the Great, Terence Daniels, the Don, and last but not least, Junior Ivenso, aka Junebug. Junebug, bug out for him one time.
All right, y'all. Another one back with the BMM podcast. We got another one. We got a special guest in the building today. Etter. I'll let the guys introduce themselves. Who we got today? Who we got today in the building?
Terrence, regular on the podcast, so good to be here amongst the brothers. Ready for this good topic, man. Great guest.
Yeah, DeVoe Sherman, chairman of BML.
And then today we have a special guest, Jerome Belcher, all about credit. Hey, last time we talked about taxes. Today we are going to talk about credit. So I'm going to let the man introduce himself. And just remember, on this podcast, we definitely say it with our chest. And we got probably the guy with the biggest bust in the BMM. Hey, he been getting it in. Hey, so we here today live. Jerome, please introduce yourself and tell the people why you here today.
I am Jerome Belcher. I am the owner of Dynamic Business Group. We are a full-service financial brokerage. We help small businesses to establish business credit, their profiles, their scores. We help them to get business funding, and we also utilize credit repair as part of that process. So we are here today to just kind of talk about small businesses and the role credit plays, personal and business, and maybe attack a few myths that might be circling out there. So let's go. Let's get it.
Yeah, so what's the role of small businesses when it comes to credit? Like, what's the role that they play?
I mean, the truth of the matter is, and I see this all day, every day, small business owners, they are, especially in our community, and let's just go ahead and get that out the way. In our community, I see more frequently small business owners would rather crowdfund, they would rather ask family and friends, which is not a negative thing in and of itself, instead of attacking the one thing that opens up all the doors to opportunity, which is their credit. You've got people out here that they want to take shortcuts, but in the world of business, when it comes to total business activity, personal credit plays just as big a part, if not bigger, than business credit, which has been abused lately. And then also, it plays a huge part in getting funded. So we want to make sure that as we educate our business owners, that we're taking a holistic approach to getting them prepared for funding, and that's going to include personal credit.
Why do you suppose these people take alternative routes instead of utilizing their credit that they have?
I can't answer. That's a really broad question, because there's hundreds of millions of entrepreneurs popping up every year. But what I do notice is most entrepreneurs that I've encountered, I work with, they're in the rush to get to the money. They want the money the fastest. They want it right here, and they want it right now. To really set your business up for financial success, you have to take the long walk. You have to take and check off all the boxes that the underwriters are going to be looking at to give you the money. So when I'm educating my people, I'm not only talking to them, I'm teaching them. We need to approach this through the eyes of the lender, EOTL. What do the lenders want to see from you to trust you with their money? And so a lot of people don't want to take that journey. They want to go now, they want to go quick, they want to go fast. I've had clients that I had to fight for 2 years just to try to get some credit done. And then when they can't get it, now I'm the bad guy. No, you're the bad guy. You didn't serve your business. This is your business. So, I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for all of them, but that's one of the common things that I see dealing with my clientele.
So what's kind of the issue of them taking the money from other sources and not going the credit route?
Again, the majority of the entrepreneurs that I see or deal with, there's a four-letter word that everybody wants: free. They want to become millionaires on the backs of free. Free has not created no millionaires at no time in the history of mankind. They don't want to put the work in. They don't, this is just what I see. I do funding all day, every day. So I'm not saying this is every entrepreneur, but this is a common denominator with a lot of that community. And then sometimes they don't want to pay to play. They don't want to pay to play. If you cannot go into your bank, provide the proper documentation to get the funding you need, you have to seek funding from alternative lenders. Alternative lenders are going to charge you a fee to give you the money you want if they can get it to you. So if you're getting offered, for an example, if they're offering you 150 bands, $150,000, I'm sorry, ghetto comes out sometime.
Nah, bands is cool. Yeah,
Okay, you know what I'm saying?
We like bands.
We like bands. So if they're offering you 150,000 and you have to pay 15% to get that, that is a drop in the bucket to fund your business potentially from now until you don't want that business anymore. Some people do not want to pay the 15%, the 10%, the 6%, whatever it is. And it makes no sense to me, but ultimately at the end of the day, that's their right to choose whether they want to take the money or not.
So you saying you feel like they have to pay higher percentages when they go elsewhere? Is that kind of the problem?
Well, I'm not going to say that as much as like the companies that I work with, we do alternative lending. So we have the ability to write our own rules as to what we will accept and won't accept from any applicant. If you walk into the bank, you're going to have documentation, bank statements, W-2s, tax returns. You're going to have time in business, generally right around 2 years, and you're going to have a monthly revenue requirement if you want to come in at a lower credit score, which is rated anywhere from $12,000 to $15,000 a month, verified by those same bank statements. People can't do that. You can't do that as a startup. So where do you get the money from? You have to go to either collateral, means you got to put something up to get something, but even then you still got to sign for it. So why not just fix your credit from the beginning and open up the windows to the opportunity where you can get whatever you want? Again, I funded 3 people this week, all in the range of $100,000 to $200,000. Why? Because we worked on their credit. We made the credit look exactly what the lender wanted it to look like. We got the requirements for the business credit. Listen, and I'm not in this side break. Business credit is not just net 30 accounts. Quit it. Stop it. The business credit is good for business to business to get you some supplies, some things you need to run the business. But you ain't about to walk into PNC and say, I got 30 trade lines. Can I get $100,000? Sure, we're giving it. That's not going to happen. They don't care about them net 30 accounts. They do not, unless you use it as a strategy to satisfy the SBA requirements for your FICO SBSS score. Nobody knows what that is. You know why? Because they just want to take your money. So stop paying attention to all these people that say, I could build to get you $100,000 to $250,000 in 30 days. No, lies. Stop it. Okay, back to the retro. So going back to the thing. So when you understand what the strategy is, what the SBA is looking for, what the lenders are looking for, it's not hard to carve the path out. Nobody wants to walk the path. The ones that do are the ones that are successful, right? That's just it. And all I've done is I went out and I've sat down with multiple banks. I've called multiple credit unions, not just locally, but nationally. I asked the same questions. I got the common denominators, and that's how I work. And so guess what? So if you tell me you want money, I'm going to tell you, here's where we are, where you at, what your credit look like, what your business credit look like. All right, now we got to work. Now I'm going to personalize your plan. That's just for you. What I do for DeVoe may not work for you. What I do for you may not work for Terence, right? So that's the other thing. There is no cookie cutter in this industry. Stop letting these people tell y'all that this is cookie cutter and y'all can all follow the same plan and get the same thing. You cannot. Okay, mic drop. Let's go. What else y'all got? Let's turn up.
1,000 gems drop right there. Let's take it back though. Let's talk about who is Jerome first and foremost, because on the BMM podcast, we like to say it with our chest. We like to get to know people. Also, we about healing on this. So who is Jerome? And tell us how you got it really started in the business credit world, or just in credit in general. Like what attracted you to credit? What brought you into credit? Because me personally, I didn't know a lot about credit, especially coming out of high school, even going into college. So my mindset wasn't even there. And when you talk about people, when you talk about people being fearful of, not going and educating themselves on credit or not getting into business with somebody like you to expand their knowledge on credit, just give us a breakdown of why people might not feel that way or fearful that way, and how you got into credit and where it came from, your inspiration.
Sure. So let me preface it by saying that what I'm going to say might sound like I'm shooting. I'm not. It's just what happened. So I started in business in '93 as a personal trainer. I was fresh out of the penitentiary, and there was not a lot of options for me to get corporate jobs because I've got a violent felony. It was a violent felony. And so in '93, I started my personal training business. I started talking to different vendors. I started a supplement business. Those two go hand in hand. Didn't have internet, didn't have smartphones, and didn't have a variety, a pool of people that I could go to get this information from. So for 20 years, it was trial and error. I ran every gym in the city. I learned how to do business from running the gyms, right? Every gym in the city at the point, I ran one. In 2016, I was over at LA Fitness. It was a group of guys that was working out with me. It was about 10 of us. And they kept saying to me, Jerome, you need your own gym. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm tired. I did it. I don't want to do it. I just want to be cool. But the more they kept saying it to me, the more it started clicking in. Maybe I do need my own gym. So I started dealing with the SBDC over at Union Institute College over in Mount Auburn. And then my business advisor, Larry Brown, he sent me over to the GCMI to pick up some things. He felt they had some things I needed. So speeding up forward a little bit, through my time in that program, credit was not really addressed the way it needed to be. Business credit was not addressed at all. Not at all. And that was and that's not a shock. It's just what happened. I don't want to make it seem like I'm shooting, because I teach it there now. I'm one of the instructors. I went back to put back what wasn't there. But so when we started, there was about 30 of us in the class. By the time it finished, it was maybe less than 10. But people came to find out how to get money. During the same time that I'm doing the GCMI course, I'm also getting certified as a credit restoration specialist. So I'm getting my certifications in both simultaneously. So the same night I graduated from both the same night. I literally slipped up and found business credit. I was just doing my diligence, going over my coursework, really getting into the credit world. And I slipped up and I was like, business credit, what's that? So from that point, from the minute I found that, it became a passion, because people need to know, while you're in the process of building your business, there are ways for you to get the supplies you need. So 2016, I dove headfirst into that, and I never looked back. I wrote my first book, I think it was 2018, on that topic, because I wanted it to be plain and simple, and I didn't want it to be out here again, all this information that people are drooling and jamming and dropping and man, get the hell out of here. That's bullcrap, because they're hurting more people than not, and people are getting discouraged. But I went back to the GCMI in 2018. I said, listen, this is a valuable thing. People need to know about it. We fought for about a year or so, and then they finally came on board through a situation that happened with one of their clients that had to obtain some vendor credit. And they said, okay, now we see the value. Come on in. So I've been teaching there since 2018. But, I've always I was the oldest sibling. And so I've always been the guy that likes to go back and I fight for the people that can't fight for themselves. Because some people just can't. You know what I mean?
They won't.
Some people can't. And those are the ones that I want to talk about. The ones that won't, they have their own way to work in life. And I tell them all the time, I don't have a pot to give you, or a window to give you. I don't have a heaven or hell to put you in. That's your path with God. But those that don't know how to fight have to have a voice. So I wanted to become a voice for the voiceless. And I took up the mantle of saying, okay, if anybody's going to work in this space and present truth and be effective and keep people from making hundreds of millions of mistakes, I'm going to be that guy. And that's what I did, and I chose to be that. And I have not ventured out that lane. I have seen some, and I won't say no names, but you'll see them on Facebook. You know, 1 week he was home health care, next week he was business credit, next week he was personal credit, next week you doing, you know, your hair at your mom's house, then you went back to selling Girl Scout cookies, now you're selling husband buddy cards down at the Shell gas station. Come on, man. Quit playing.
Sound like an entrepreneur to
Quit
me.
playing. That sounds like a person that's just chasing money but has no purpose.
Facts.
If you're going to be someone that wants to lead, then you have to have a cause to lead. If your goal is just get all the money you can, that's cool. That's all our goals. But at the end of the day, you wonder why people fail and you wonder why people are getting hurt. Because you have people that go on YouTube and they'll watch 20 minutes of YouTube videos. Now they business credit experts. Now they personal credit experts. If they're using Credit Karma to do your credit repair, you just wasted a bunch of time and money. You know what I mean? There's laws, there's regulations, there's all kinds of tools that are available. And if they don't know that stuff, if they don't know that, then it's a hustle. Because that's what people are doing. Think about it. If we were to sit here and brainstorm right now, what are the most saturated markets in the Cincinnati market? Credit repair is going to come up. Real estate's going to come up. Yeah, the nails, the eyelashes, all that. Daycare, home health care. Everybody want to do group homes. Whatever's the hot money maker, that's where Cincinnati runs. But you was just doing, you know, diet supplements last week. Now you're a real estate expert. Then you wonder why you got so many people running out here not knowing who to believe. You take me, who invests every year. I invest at least $5,000 in my professional development. He invests in his professional development. I don't, you know, we don't have these talks, but I'm sure y'all invest in y'all professional, you know, development to be the experts. And I got to contend with some joker who watched 20 minutes of tape on YouTube and got a clubhouse. Come on now, we got to stop. That's why our community, that's why our black business community is so fragmented, because they don't know who to believe. How hard is it for you to get people to really buy in to what you're selling? Work straight up. That's a serious question. How much bullcrap do you have to go through before you get them to trust that what you're doing is legit and has a purpose? That's the struggle that you should have as a leader, not because you did anything wrong, but because you got all kinds of crap out here. You know what I mean? Come on, man. It's time to stop that. So, again, I can't speak for 100% of anybody at any time, but what I will say is when I come into contact with is I had a client, listen to this blew my mind. One of my clients called me. I'm minding my business. Everybody knows I sit to myself. I don't bother nobody. I don't mess with nobody. Called me and then immediately felt the same within minutes that I'm on some bullcrap. But you called me. So how am I in the meeting? So it took me 6 to 8 months to earn that person's trust. And now we go from business credit to estate and trust planning in a year. We go from a credit score here to a credit score here. We go from this kind of credit cards to top tier credit cards. I won't say who it is because everybody would know. But we had top tier credit cards, and she goes from $330,000 now she's over worth $500,000. Come on now, how does that happen? Why do I have to fight for that? I shouldn't have to, and I don't. I'm done. If the people really want to get it done, then figure out, do you want to listen to somebody that's going to give you a low price, use Credit Karma, and they're going to fix all your credit, or somebody that's going to take your stuff, know the proper sequence, know the fair debt collection, privacy acts, know the Fair Credit Reporting Act, know how to work all of those and how to fix where you need to go, and then how to progress you to the money. I don't fight nobody. You know what I mean? People can do what they want to do.
So we talked about, I think we talked a lot about like what people aren't doing, but there's entrepreneurs out there that's trying to do it the right way. Give them some tips and some things that they can do, to make sure these clients are getting good information and, you know, are leading in the right way, because you're not just giving game to those who are doing the bullshit. You want to give game to those who are trying to do the right thing, so we can lead them on the right path to start getting, you know, better clients and getting the right people to tune in, to trust people such as yourself that's doing it right and the others that are doing it right. So give us some game on what they could do.
To anybody that calls themselves a coach, a leader, a mentor, a consultant, stop saying words that are trendy and buzzwordy. Let me drop game on you. Let me drop gems on you. Listen, at that point, you're conforming to a societal blemish or a glitch. You're entering into the matrix. Don't do that. Find out where each person is at. Find out what's available to them financially, and then develop the plan of progression based off of that. Because if you got a single mom, right, that's getting no help, and she got 4 kids, her income may not be the same as, you know, little Charles, who's just, you know, a young guy, 26 years old, living in the mama's garage with no bills and no kids. His income may be more available to him than it is to her. So his plan can be more progressive than hers. Everything has to be personalized, and it can't be cookie cutter. It's not ever going to be that. There are some principles that can be the same, but the path, the progress won't be the same. So stop playing with people and really get down and get into the trenches with them. I support my people in ways that they do not want to support. It's documented. I just wrote an email from my brother's restaurant. I'm trying to get him on national TV. He didn't even know. He didn't ask me to do that. But see, I believe in my people so much that I'll go that far to do the kind of promotions that nobody else in this community wants to do. For all you entrepreneurs, stop trying to take shortcuts. Stop looking for hacks. Stop looking for tips. Stop looking for tricks. Stop looking for all these shortcuts. Okay? Find you a professional that has the credentials to give you the information. I am right now adding my I'm thinking, I don't know, because I'm retarded this way, but I'm thinking I'm trying to get my very last credential as a financial educator that's recognized by FINRA. These are the same regulatory agencies that overlook, like Chris and his group. They got to be FINRA regulated. So I went the independent route. I didn't want to go through anybody else. I want to do it my way. So I paid the money, and now I'm taking the courses. Those are the kind of people you want to learn from. People that walk the talk, that do the do. People that can tell you, because this is what they're thinking, that are experts. Stop trying to go free. You'll never get free. Bill Gates did nothing free. Jeff Bezos did nothing free. Quit playing and get out here and be willing to take the time to do it right. Once you set the right, proper financial foundation that's based off of the EOTL, the eyes of the lender, everything opens up easily after that. That's the best I could give you. There is nothing else after that. There's nothing. There's no tricks. There's no gimmicks.
I got a quick question.
Yep.
So, I'm not a coach, counselor, or a mentor of any sort when it comes to the financial space, but I know for me, I'll just give you a quick story. I found out about credit 2012, right? And so in the military, one of my captain, we were talking credit, and he pulled his credit score up, and he had a 820. And I didn't even know it went past 8, right? I'm 22, 23 years old. I'm like, all right. So I looked mine up. I think I was somewhere like 5, almost 600. So the first thing I did was I printed out my credit report, and I had money obviously from our deployment. So I just started calling people. Mm-hmm. Hey, I owe you. What can we do to make this better? You know, and a lot of times they're like, okay, I'll tell you what, $75 right now down, another payment of 120, whatever.
Sure.
And then they write it off, and you know, they say everything's good.
Yeah.
So I did that first. Then I bought a few cars that I could have got cash with credit, and then paid them off like a tad early, not too early because I actually paid for 2. But long story short, you know, we're talking years later. You know, I said 800 myself, And I don't say that to brag, but I also think
Nice.
that my path may have been, I don't know, maybe I could have got here a little bit sooner. And so people ask me sometimes about credit, and I tell them like, hey, this is what worked for me. Again, I'm a coach. I make that clear. This is what worked for me. I don't know, maybe you try to do what worked for you. But I want to say, based on what I just explained to you, and I did what you said. I did the Credit Karma thing at first, and then I kind of leveled up a little bit to Experian. And I kind of like started to learn a little bit more there. But then I started kind of like, looking at things on my own. But like, if for someone else, what would you tell them like proper steps? And then also too, the last question.
Sure.
Is it better than just like if I had found Jerome back then? Like I almost feel like it would have been a better outcome. Even though right now I'm good. But I think I could have been here a lot sooner had I had those resources.
Here's the thing. Let's clear up one thing. A person with a 720 can get the same thing as a person with an 820. Let's get that out the way. It's not necessarily so much the score as it is the profile. If your profile has minimal derogatories and inquiries, late pay charges, if it's as clear as possible of those things, it looks the same as an 820, y'all both gonna get the same thing. Y'all both gonna get the same amount of money at the same rate. So we have been hypnotized and conditioned to follow a score. A person with an 800 score can get declined for a $100,000 loan because they have a thin file. What is the thin file? Their profile. That means you don't have enough credit to show that you know how to manage credit. So number one, don't be so enamored with the score itself. Start paying attention to what's in your profile. Your inquiries, your late pay, charge-offs, collections, all those things. Liens, bankruptcies. Bankruptcies are killers in lending up to 2 years. So start getting with that. Get with a reputable individual that knows the laws and can help you start to dispute those things so you can get those out. Number two, credit repair is not just taking stuff out. You got to put some stuff in. You got to put some stuff in. So learn how to. Man, I'm just getting warmed up.
I'm liking this. I wish I would have asked earlier. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm just getting warmed up.
Put some stuff in. You gotta put some
Let's put some stuff in. Wait, hold on. Can I pay for more time?
Credit.
I'm dead serious because I
We
don't.
can keep the Facebook live stream.
Because this is people need to hear this, and I'm not just saying that it's for me, whether it's me or anybody else. I don't want to lose the momentum. Like this is a good conversation we need to have. So okay, put some good stuff in. I'm sorry, I'm quick. Put some stuff in. So that means you have to learn how to, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion all say they want to see in a regular consumer file a good package to get started, at least one installment loan and 3 credit cards. If that is not in your profile, you'll have minimal credit experience. You'll only be able to go so far. So guess what you got to do? You got to build that in there. Now, there are certain ways to do that. Not everybody needs to start with a secure card. That's the popular thing. Get your secure card. Not everybody needs to do that. If you know what each bureau pulls, where they pull from, some of these places will let you get a credit card with a 620. And you get an unsecured card with a 620. You just have to know me. Again, this is the difference between people that do this for a living and the people that are just doing it to make a quick buck. So, put some stuff in there because they want to see how well you manage the debt you have. Paying everything down to zero and letting it ride and you got a 0 credit card for 8 months in a row, you're not going to build no points. Because you're at that point, you're not utilizing the credit. You got to use the credit in order to show them you know how to manage it so that they can trust you with more credit. Okay? So learn how to do that. Get with somebody that can teach you how to manipulate the numbers to do what you need to do. Lastly, be vigilant about your credit. I have all my people checking their credit reports weekly. We ain't going through this monthly stuff no more. Check it weekly. One of my clients was getting denied. We couldn't figure out why. I said, call this bureau and see if you got multiple files open. Multiple files? Well, how would that happen? Just do it. Come to find out, they had she had 3 different files. Her name was misspelled twice, and then she had a middle initial that wasn't even hers. Right? So be vigilant about this because people out there, all they got to do is use all your information, insert a middle initial that's not accurate, start a file, and use your credit to do some stuff illegally. So that's what I would say to everybody starting with credit.
Now, Etter, I don't take a shine, but we're at the 30-minute mark. We're gonna close out on the podcast. We'll definitely keep the Facebook live stream open for a little longer because we just
Let's
touched
do
in.
those segments. We got 3 segments we need to hit on though. Let's do the mental health segment. So the mental health segment is how are you going to take care of your mental health. So if there's like 1 or 2 things that you're going to do to take care of your health, and then we'll do drop a gem, and then we'll do shout out a small business. So we can do those 3 segments real quick. Let's go ahead and do that. So let's do the mental health. So for me, how I'm going to take care of my mental health a little bit better is I'm going to start back doing my yoga and my meditation, which what I usually do, kind of got away from it. And I'm also going to do some shadow boxing because I got this thing in my house. I can hit it back and forth. So going to continue to do that and also get back into therapy as well.
Nice.
For me, mental health, I'm looking forward to nicer weather, get back out in nature. I kind of find that to be really nice. So more hikes, things like that. Maybe try fishing. I don't know if I've done that before. And then shout out to Black Business. Man, that's so bad.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, my brain is fried, so I'm just trying to maintain what I got left. But for me to improve my mental health, I think the biggest thing that I've done is I've learned to be okay with who I am. I've learned to not compare myself against anyone or anybody. I've accepted who I am. And the more that I do that, I'm able to be at peace with the way my world is set up. In terms of physical health, I've also gotten back in the gym. So that's bringing back a lot of good things for me. It's a necessity. It's been a part of my life since I was 14 years old. So those 2 things going hand in hand, I feel real good.
For me, you know, everybody talk about what they're going to do. I'm going to talk about what I've been doing. I feel great. My mental health has been great because I'm around good brothers like this. I've been in the gym. I've been educating myself every day. So I'm going to just continue to hit on those type of things. Reading every day, setting goals every day, going back over my goals every day to build myself. And I think that's what really got my mental health in a good space. So being around brothers like this and continue doing what I'm doing. And then to drop a gem, I would say don't take any shortcuts. Like my man Big Mom said, do not take the shortcuts. Know that it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Marathon capitalist.
Marathon capitalist.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Drop a gem for him. I know you don't like gyms and buzzwords.
I do not. But I will be compliant in this moment. Jim, I got it and I lost it, but it was a good one though. Come back to me. It'll come back. Because it was a good one.
I would say my gym is just, don't be afraid to take chances. Don't be afraid to take chances. I just got it.
Gem I'm gonna drop is if you're not willing to risk, then you're not willing to grow. If you're not willing to grow, then what else is there?
My gym. If you ever find yourself going through hell, bring somebody out with you.
And also, all roads leads to Rome. And to Sherman Avenue, because it's a real street.
And Rome was not built in a day. It's a marathon.
Let's shout out a Black business. One of the Black businesses that I'm going to shout out is Dynamic Business Group. You can go to them for all your full service credit needs, whether it be personal, business credit, and they also do some other things as well. So you definitely want to get with them on that piece.
Appreciate that, brother.
Social media handles for that.
DBG, at DBG.
Yeah,
Or Jerome Belcher.
just Dynamic Business Group. They'll find it. I got to shout out my brother Big J at Big J's place. That is my brother from another. We have been on an incredible ride. Everybody needs to go see him. Best food that I've had in the city, and real good guy, man. So make sure y'all check him out. Love that place.
I have to shout out Coastline, PVO, Positive Vibes Only. That's typically what I'm wearing on a day-to-day basis. So, shout out my brother AD over there.
I want to shout out 2 businesses. First, my man Pooji Global. who couldn't be with us today, but shout out to my dog Pooji Global. He do photography, so hit him up if y'all need. And then also shop Color Fro, another apparel wear, Color Fro, that is.
Do we have any questions from Facebook? I mean, from the Zoom?
Any questions?
Any questions, Junior?
Questions?
No questions.
Do we have any questions from the audience?
Junior don't know what he's doing.
Did I go too crazy?
Now, y'all want to continue? Or
Yeah, we can continue.
We'll wrap it up. Just wrap it up. Just do y'all wrap up and then turn it off.
You got a question?
If somebody in the audience asks, who is Jerome outside of credit? They know the credit Jerome, they want to know the other side.
They want to know the soft Jerome.
That dude don't exist. Hey man, I'm just, I don't know. That's a crazy question because I do so much. You know, I've embraced the big brother role in the community. I grew up in a bunch of men that brought me under their umbrellas and taught me, and so unselfishly I try to do the same thing. And that's just in all things, man. Like Big J, for instance, you know, he came to me for business and we became brothers. That's because I recognized what he needed was not my business acumen at that moment. He needed to talk. He needed somebody that he could open up to. And my goal is to empower everybody that I come in contact with to become the best versions of themselves that they can. And that's necessary. Like I said, I don't compete with anybody. You know what I mean? DeVoe will tell you, I've been talking with him over almost 2 years now, and I tell him all the time, I'm not speaking to you right now in 2020 or 2021. I'm speaking to you in 2022 or 2023, 10 years now, 2032, whatever that is. And I'm going to keep speaking to that person until you become that person, and then I don't have to talk to you anymore, and I'll leave you alone. But, you know, that's what it takes. So, and I told him that the other day, when you talk to them kids you mentor, talk to them to where they are when they're 24 instead of 14, and bring that into existence. So that's just what I do, man. And it's the reward that doesn't pay cash, but I hope it gets me some heaven points. Hope it
give me some brownie points.
Okay, so I believe our time is up here. That was Jerome Belcher. I'm sure we will have you on again because there was just so much more to talk about. For those of you who know credit, who love credit, who are not falsifying credit, please hit my guy Jerome Belcher up. And that's another one for the BM podcast. And just like that, we out.